Hey everybody, this is Mr. Crafty. Today we're going over the final portion of my Denji skill. Last video we talked about his AP power, now we're talking about his speed. So this video is me split up to two different portions, and I'm just going to cover over this, kind of the lower end or scaling for like the speed for Denji from Chainsaw Man right now. So the pretty casual feat they have is like massively hypersonic, subsonic, basically the whole sonic ranges. The reason why is because they casually dodge bullets, and how one of the main antagonists, the Gun Devil, would shoot fully automatic rifles at people. Hell, you could potentially even argue relativistic for the Gun Devil due to him casually traveling across the planet within seconds, like literally seconds. They show the time frame. Some people can even get that up to relativistic speeds, and even Versus Battle Wiki has it in terms of lore. You can get the higher tiers to FTL, so you can get them, but the Versus casually has these sonic ranges of speed. But an interesting feat that was shown during when Denji entered his Hero of Hell state, which is what I dubbed it as, which I don't know if I'm the only one that does. I just know I dub it as that. We see during his fight with Makima, as well as the other people she's contracted with, like the other fiends or hybrids, right? We see that during the fight, he was gonna hurt one of Denji's friends. She was gonna hurt one of Denji's friends by using Angel's power, and he basically, if you don't know what Angel's power is, he sucks life from you to make it into weapons. Anyway, so she used usage 1,000 years of life, and to create this these three statues kind of rised up to make this portal thing open, and shoots out of it is this beam of light. And inside the light, we actually see in the next panel, it's also a spear. Now quickly, I'm gonna go over why this would actually be a lot of people might just look at it and be like, oh, that's just a spear going at you, which, well, one, it is, but here's the thing. Even from the first panel, we see light is illuminating from not only the beam but also the portal, as well as we see, now I'm not saying there's stars, but I am saying there's these kind of glowing figures inside the little spatial portal they opened, as well as even coming off from the portal, it's illuminating light. And we actually see the closer the beam gets to her face, it's illuminating this glow, and it is literally just a ray of light. And we see in the next panel when Denji quite casually blitzes and blocks it, that the spear was actually inside the light. We see the outline of the back part, it was inside the light. So even if you want to argue that the spear itself wasn't traveling light speed, it doesn't matter, because Denji was able to speed blitz the light before it even hit her face. So yeah, there's that for you. Even if you don't want to argue that, the spear was being going at the same speed as the light, since that's shown it kind of would be, that's fine. Denji either way kind of speed blitzes the light. Not to mention, even depiction wise, angels are these heavenly divine beings that do use light related attacks, and as shown, the weapons are we don't know what they even are made out of, so they're not purely physical based. They're literally made from soul's energy, your own life energy. So, and just showing the fact that it literally is just light illuminating, and he speed blitzes and dodges that. Hell, it would make it even faster, since he was able, if you want to argue that the spear wasn't even going at the same speeds, it makes it even better, because Denji was able to speed blitz before the light, and then the spear could get in the way. Now, usually you can cap that at specific speeds, but I know one of you guys have been asking me to start doing some type of pixel scaling, and guess what? This is my first pixel scale, and I calc the feed now. A lot of this helped. A little shout out to Splashy Rimos, I'm not saying that right. He's a really chill person. He taught me how to pixel scale and really helped me with this feat, and just so for later on in the future I'll know how to do stuff like this. He's a really good contributor to this. He honestly, the calc should go to him, but he really helped me out with this. So shout out to him, and thank you for helping with this. So yes, now I don't usually pixel scale that often, as usually my scaling doesn't need it, but for the sake of this, I wanted to pixel scale it. So basically what I did, I had to find out the distance between the light from her face and the distance Denji had to travel to get in the way. Now I calculated it to be roughly 140 centimeters due to the fact that just an average human arm, a young adult, would be about 70 centimeters long, and you can even argue Denji's arms in this form are bigger, just showing how he is. But if we just use the average, then it would amount 70 meters long, and conveniently I was able to find that the distance between the beam and Denji was at least double that, being 140 centimeters. Now this is where the big brain comes from, the actual pixel scaling. So then we had to actually find out the length of the manga panel, then face, as well as the beam of light. Now I don't know why I'm explaining this process. Most people just probably not go into this detail, but I feel like I have to. Anyway, so basically her face came out to be 78 px, the manga panel's 586 px, and the beam of light was 77 px. So basically after that, I found the distance, how big the head was, right? And I just had to find out, just divide that by the distance of the manga panel using this formula. I'll put up, and I got the radius of said they attacked. And after you get the radius of the thing, you just convert it into degrees. And after you convert it in degrees, there's actually a really good website, Splashy showed me that it helps you calculate the distance. First you put in, I did the head and then the beam, and after you do that, it calculates the distance, and after that you subtract it by the number. And I basically found the distance between her head and the beam before I hit her was basically 0.97 centimeters. Now here's where the good shit gets to. So basically you have to divide the centimeters you got, so 0.97 by the speed of light to find out the distance light would have had to travel. And it's this thing I'm putting up. It's 3.235 times 10 to the negative 11 seconds. And after you get that, you have to divide by the distance Denji traveled, which was 140 centimeters, and divide it by the distance we already found for the speed of light. And then you just get the number and convert it into light speed. And basically I found that Denji traveled 144.3 times the speed of light just in that feat, which is an incredible speed feat for Denji. That puts him at FTL plus. Me and Sashi did not expect it to get that high. We were both kind of blown away by it. So and it does make sense because he was able to casually speed blitz that distance within such a short amount of time. Not to mention, you can even argue he'd be much faster than that, because as shown in the final fight with him and Makima, his new hybrid base, it's not his base, but his new hybrid mode was pretty can be implied that it was just as strong as his Hero of Hell at the time, as shown that he could casually kill Makima as well as the other people she had with her. So if you want to argue, you can even argue that version of Denji would be over 140 times the speed of light. And then if you want to take it even higher, just find out the multiplier for Hero of Hell Denji, and there you have it. Anyway, so that would be more than low end scaling or mid end scaling for the Chainsaw Man verse. It's a very interesting feat. I don't think that many people calc it, and I already explained to you why it is a light speed feat, because he literally, even if you don't want to argue that the spear is getting propelled with the same speed, it doesn't matter, because he would literally got in the way of the light before it even hit her in the first place. So it still light speed feat regardless if the spear was traveling at light or not. Anyway, so that would wrap up this portion. Real quick before I go, tell me what you guys think about the pixel scale calcs. My first time doing that. In the future I might have to do more, who knows, and just tell me what y'all think. But anyway, let's move on to the second portion of this video. Alright, now I'm moving on to this final portion of the speed. Now luckily I didn't need to use any of high-tech pixel scaling, so this would be a pretty easy explanation. So I bet you're wondering, okay, how are you getting them higher? And all actually tracks back to the Eternity Devil. So it was stated by Aki during, so inside the Eternity Devil, within its stomach when you're trapped in it, like he can make things like infinite, like one room infinitely long, and he can make everything just eternity. That's kind of what the name is. Now actually an interesting like factor inside it is that time is put at a stop. It was pointed out the fact that all the clocks are just stopped, but also it's even explained by Aki, and I'll quote, "There's a possibility that just the 8th floor has the flow of time stopped by the devil's ability. In that case, there probably won't be any help coming." Now, this is even supported by the fact that after they actually defeat the Eternity Devil, when they come out of the hotel, time hasn't even passed for at all. It's like the second they went in, this is like the 8th floor, this second they came out. So it does fit the bullet for it being stop time. It more suits the bullet, even that we know that Denji was able to fight the Eternity Devil for 3 days straight, and when they came out, it's like nothing changed from the second they went in the 8th story. So the probability of the flow of time being stopped was, proven after the time they got out. Hell, even Versus Battle Wiki and Character Profile Stats and Wiki both limit that as the Eternity Devil has a time stop ability. So even the people that lowball everyone even acknowledge he has that ability, and the fact that they were able to move in that said stop time would make them have infinite speed. Now I know a lot of people will be like, wait a minute, but everyone was able to move in there. And what I say to that is, yes, it sounds really confusing. How could these practically low-level people have this speed? And what I say to you is, I don't know, I'm not the author. And it's like, I was actually looking back and maybe there was just some contentions, but if you think about it, if the devil truly could just was allowing them to move in there, that wouldn't make sense, because he wanted to kill Denji. He was even going as far as to willing to make a contract with anyone there to kill Denji, and if he could just stop him, why didn't he do that? And two, we know that time was stopped because after it was stated and shown after they defeated him, as well as the feat is explained by Aki what it's doing, and it actually is very similar to the feat with Gojo when he is stuck in the prison realm. And he even explains, he says it appears that the flow of time doesn't stop here. So if you do take that feat, it's practically almost the exact same thing as this feat. It's both even worded the same way, as even shown with it's even better shown with Chainsaw Man, because when they actually get out of there, no time has passed at all. Now you can argue them higher, because like in my last video I was able to get Denji in terms of AP to outer, and I'm not going to explain it now because you can just go watch my video on it. But basically I was able to prove that the Darkness Devil was a plutonic concept, and with that, that would make him outer, and outer reversal people have irrelevant speed, so that would be an easily irrelevant speed. If you want to see why I can get them to outer, go watch my other video. I explained the whole thing there. I'm not going to do it now because that's what I'm not supposed to do. Anyway, so that'll be all for this video. Don't, again, shout outs to Splashy Ramirez, Remo, I'm not saying that right, and for helping me with this calc. It took me a while. And what do you guys think of my first pixel scale? I think I did a pretty good job. It's a pretty good feat, and like all of the other scaling in this video for the speed. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord in the link in the description. And yeah, that's all. And Mr. Crafty